What's up, guys? Shane here. Super excited to be with you on our weekly training on our march down the road to flip your life live. Want to make sure everybody can see and hear me. I'm going to check on my screen real quick to see if I am broadcasting. Should pop on any second now, I believe. So I'll make sure that I am actually broadcasting. Here we go. Looks like it's firing up. Yep, looks like it is. All right, so give me some visual and audio confirmation. Make sure you can hear me. The video should be playing any second. And remember, there is a slight delay between what I'm saying and the chat. Okay. Let's say, can you see and hear me? All right, there's one. I got me. It's playing on mine. Monty says yes. Shay says yes. Craig says yes. So we look like we're good. If anybody else having problems, it's on your end, not mine. All right. All right, guys. I want to quickly tell you what happened today. If you did not see my email, this training was scheduled for 12 o'clock. But here's what happened. So I scheduled it at 12 o'clock because I had front row tickets to WWE wrestling tonight there's an arena here. Okay. And I was going to go to wrestling. So what happened was like Friday or Saturday, the venue canceled the event. They canceled the event. And I thought, cool, I'll move the thing to 9. More people can come because the evenings usually have a better turnout, and that'll let people come live and it'll be better. But here's the problem. I thought that, and in my brain, I just said I was going to do that, but I forgot to tell anybody else. just had a staff meeting with myself. And I said, hey guys, hey Shane, let's do it at 9 o'clock. All right, Shane, see you there. And it was over. And I didn't send anybody any messages. I didn't email anybody to tell them it changed. I didn't go into the page to change anything. I didn't even tell Jocelyn. I just, in my mind, decided that it would be at 9, and I guess everybody would just figure it out. So I did not send an email out, and that's why I was not here at 12 o'clock. So if you were here at 12 o'clock today, I am really sorry that you had to come at 12 o'clock and I was not here. Okay. So that's why this is happening at 9 o'clock and not 12 o'clock, because my brain short circuited and did not do anything. So it happens. You know what happens. I do a lot of videos, do a lot of podcasting. Gonna mess something up every once in a while. That's just how it's gonna work. Just, So moral of the story is don't have a staff meeting with yourself and tell everybody what's going on, especially when people paid for their seats. Okay. All right. So what we're gonna talk about tonight, we've been going through the blueprint. We've been getting all the strategy stuff down. I hope that you are taking massive action in between these sessions. That's the goal, guys. I'm not here to teach you anything. I'm here to show you a path that you're supposed to walk, right? You can learn everything we've ever done, and it won't make you a dime unless you do it yourself, okay? So that's what the point of this is. And this is a really important, pivotal week, is thinking about how you're going to create recurring revenue in your business. I'm going to show you how we came to that conclusion, how we fit. That was really, guys, online business was awesome, but when we discovered recurring revenue, it was the key to freedom. That was what really changed everything in our business, that gave us peace, that kept us from being stressed out, that helped us to be able to predict our income ahead of time. We have a report in our reporting system. It's called the Future Income Report. And based on normal levels of cancellation and, lifetime value of customer, like, we can predict what we're going to make over the next 6 months. Okay. That's huge, guys. When you start getting to that point in the business, you can make hiring decisions. You can not be so freaked out because you're going to be able to meet your needs and wants over the next few months. And you have some built-in screw-up protection in your business, because if you mess up this month, if you have a sales drop, well, it's okay. We've got all this recurring revenue stacked. That gives me a couple months to correct, and we'll get right back on track. If you're living launch to launch and you're selling physical products only or digital products only, and you're just selling course by course or shirt by shirt or day by day, you make a mistake and you're out of money at the end of the month. And that's what can't happen when you're self-employed. It's one thing to become self-employed, but you got to stay self-employed, right? Like, that's what we help people do: become and stay self-employed. And we take some criticism sometimes. Some people tell us that we are too membership focused, right? But they don't get it. They don't understand. freedom. They don't understand how to run a business, because the reason we're so passionate about recurring revenue and monthly memberships and subscriptions is because we know that's what will actually change your family's future, not just be a one-hit wonder where something sold online one time. Okay. So I'm going to tell you a little bit a story today about how we got into the membership model. I've got some other stuff to share. Maybe there's some flipped lifestyle podcast sleuths here. I can't find the exact number of we did a podcast about switching over to the membership model. I'm assuming it's in the 170s. And I wanted to share that in case some people here had not heard it. There was a couple podcasts. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Okay. Let me go to Flip Lifestyle. Let me go to my podcast. Let me see if I can find a link for y'all, because I'd really like for everybody to listen to this podcast, because it was in the moment when we were actually switching our business. And I think it was in the 170s. So let me pull back here and see if I can find it. We've done a couple different podcasts about the membership model. Nah, it's farther back than that. Let's see. Where is it here? I know where it is. Let's see. It's somewhere. Are these dated? It's probably back in like 2015. It only goes back. I can only see it go back to like episode 200. Okay. Okay. Well, I'll try and find it and I'll email it to you. But we did a podcast about why we did this, like why we actually switched to the membership model instead. Because we were selling course products for like $500 a piece. I mean, we're making really good money, having huge months. But it was really feast or famine, right? And we couldn't create predictable, stable income. So it's kind of like you had the big launch, and then the next month, there's nothing there. You got to start over every month. We kept starting over, and we said, there's got to be a better way to do this. So we went to a live event, because live events change your life. That's why you're going to Flip Your Life Live, right? We went to a live event and we met an expert in the membership model, and we asked him about it. And he had been doing some recurring revenue stuff for years. And we started talking to him about it. And I got this idea. I was like, man, this makes so much sense. Like our products that we sell can be totally broken up into a membership. And how much easier would it be to sell a $50 product than a $500 product, right? If we just sold a $50 product and kept people for 10 months, we're going to get a lot more sales, because a lot more people are going to go in at 50 than they are throwing 500 down up front. And we're going to keep them for all this time, and we can predict all this. And so we decided on the airplane back from this live event that we were going to change our entire business model, because that's what Jocelyn and I do. We like scrap things and start over. We blow things up and put them back together. And it was really scary, because the year before, in the month we were about to change, we were changing in July going into August. The year before, we had made like $140,000 in 1 month, right? It was our first 6-figure month. It was what really pushed us over the edge to be able to do this like full time forever. And we were scared to death to change this model, because what if we messed it up? What if we screwed it up? But then a part of us was like, what if we don't? Right? What if it works? So we switched in 1 month everything we were doing. This was when we had our education business and we were selling lesson plans. And we switched everything over to the membership model in 1 month. And we almost made the same amount of money just in membership sales, because so many more people flooded into our memberships all at once. We were getting 5 to 10 people for every one sale we were making before. So we didn't make less money on the initial transaction. We almost made the same amount. And then we made it the next month, and the next month, and the next month, and the next month, and the next month. And that's the power of recurring revenue. Okay. So I'm going to teach you one of my magic formulas tonight. This is not on any training inside the Flip Your Life community anywhere. So I'm going to teach you the logical mathematical training that is going to show you why this model makes so much more sense from an energy standpoint, right? Like that's what we're trying to protect, is energy. Jocelyn and I are not about, millions of dollars, and, that's all fine and good to chase, building a $10 million company. And I'm not knocking anybody that wants to do that. Maybe you want to scale your business and exit someday. I don't know. That's not what we want to do. We want to create a business that is low energy in promotion, low energy in marketing, low energy in sales, low energy in operations and function and everything else, because we want to save energy for each other, and we want to save energy for our children. We want to save energy to get on an airplane tomorrow and go to Disney World for 7 days with a 5-day hopper pass, baby, because that's what we're doing, right? Like we have to be able to manage our energy. We also want to protect our sanity, right? If you're working 70 hours a week, living launch to launch and feast or famine, you're going to go insane. You're going to go crazy, right? So we have a sanity meter that we have to protect. And the membership model gives you so much more control of how you use your time, how you use your energy, and the levels of sanity you're able to protect compared to living launch to launch, selling one-off products. That is easier to do it. Now, I see some questions coming into about memberships. I will get to questions at the end. I'm going to go through my spiel here in a minute. I do see that the people are dropping those podcast links in. Thank you guys so much for looking those up. So FL60, why you should offer a membership or recurring subscription in your business. And I think 89 was one of them. There's also this one that I've got. We've got a bunch of awesome podcasts about memberships where we really dove deep into it when we were getting into this. This one's all about really important components. I'm not going to get into the components of a membership. We have a training called the Membership Mindset. So we're going to talk about that. We got lots of podcasts about that too. So some of these podcasts, great listening material this week. The goal this week is going to be thinking about how you can create better recurring revenue. If you've already got a membership, it's how you can increase how long people stay. If you have just started making that product 2 weeks ago when we did the products, you're going to think about now how to turn that product into something that people will pay month to month, year after year for that information. Okay. All right. So if you've got questions, you can drop them in the chat. I'll try to go back and find them, but we'll put them back in. But the first thing we're going to do is look at one of Shane's magic formulas. Okay. So I'm going to click over here. My chat box is not open right now. Let me see if I can get it where I can get the chat on it. Okay. I'm going to show you. There we go. Nice. I'm going to show you why it makes absolutely no sense to sell one-off products only. Okay. So let me share my screen. Let me pick a window. And we're going to pick this one. Okay. All right. So in a normal business, all right, we have a specific formula that creates revenue. Okay. Maybe some of you have seen something like this before, but this is how we think about it. Okay. All right. So we have prospects. All right. Prospects. Your audience would sit over top of this. Okay. Maybe there's 10,000 people that listen to your YouTube channel or something. All right. Prospects are people who literally have raised their hand and they want your thing. Okay. Literally, they've signed up for your email list. They've downloaded that lead magnet that we created a couple weeks ago on our way to Flip Your Life Live, and they're on your list. All right. So let's say that we have 1,000 people on our list. Okay. Conversions are people who have taken the next step, right? They're on the email list. They've bought something, and now they pop down here and they become a customer. Okay. All right. Everybody with me? Say yes. If you're with me in the chat, say yes. All right. So let's say that we have 10 customers. Our one product, our digital product, maybe it's a course. Let's just say it's a course right now. Okay. Because everybody's going to create a course first. Our one course is $50. We have one course, $50. When they buy it one time. So we have 10 customers at $50 with a frequency of 1 because they buy one digital product and it's over. Okay. And we have $500 in total revenue. Now, the question becomes, okay, here's the question. How do we increase revenue? How do we double revenue? The common answer is just we sell more stuff, right? How do we increase revenue? And I don't want to just increase revenue. I want to double revenue. Like, why make 500 when you can make 1,000? You see what I'm saying? Why make 50,000 when you can make 100,000? How do we double revenue? How do we do this? All right. So let's talk about this one more time. Let me flip back over here. All right. So let's look at our chart again. You should be able to see the chart on the screen. All right. So some people would say, and get more traffic, increase your audience, bust this number up. Because if you get 2,000 people, then we'd get 20 conversions 20 times 50 equals 1,000, right? So that creates more money. But here's the problem with that. It is really, 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 really hard. The hardest thing you can do in your business is get more traffic. It's hard to get more traffic, and it's hard to get more people on your list. Like, that's the most important thing you can do, is grow your audience and get more emails, right? But it's really, really hard. This is the hardest thing we do. This is the most expensive thing we do, is getting prospects and turning them into customers, right? So increasing this, which is the most common thing that people teach, get more traffic, get more people on your list. That's going to make more money, right? Make more sales. One-off products. This is Russell Brunson teaches a lot of stuff like this. A lot of people teach this when they teach webinars. That's great. That is extremely, extremely, I'm going to put high energy. Energy. That's extremely high energy. If you're going to increase prospects, that's really, really high energy. Okay. Increasing conversions is also really expensive and really high energy, right? We've got to have huge audiences, big lists, and a massive conversion rate. Okay. If we're going to increase more customers, we're going to spend more money and we're going to spend more time. Okay. Now, we could increase price, right? We could increase price. But hey, what if $50 is all people are willing to pay? Okay. What if $500 is a good price? Fine. But how you it's hard to sell a higher price. The more you raise prices, for sure, to get paid what we're worth. But raising prices makes it harder to sell. It is harder to sell a $500 product than it is a $50 product. That's just true. It takes more prospects. It takes more conversions. It takes to sell a higher price. You got to get more people at the webinar. Now, or we could do this. The easiest thing that we can manipulate in our business is frequency. Frequency is the easiest thing to do, because if you have a product with multiple courses in it, okay, and we'll talk about physical products, we'll talk about some other things as well, okay, then increasing the frequency becomes easy. What if I just say, well, I've got a $50 product, but I'm going to put everything into a membership. I'm going to add, some community elements to it. I'm going to charge $50 a month, and then I'm going to get people to stay an average of 3 months. Now we made $1,500 with low energy, low cost. Once you get the customer, you've already got them. You just keep them, and you just keep them paying month after month after month after month. And this doesn't have to be just content-based stuff. Like, it doesn't have to be a membership. This could just be, well, they've got the first product. Like, let's say me and Jocelyn sold August lesson plans, and we made $500. Well, what if we then sold September lesson plans? Then it becomes 1,000. Then we go in and we sell the same people that just bought that thing. We could sell them individually. So you can do this in an individual sales way and create that revenue. But of all the things in the revenue formula, frequency is the lowest energy. It is the lowest cost. It is the easiest thing to manipulate. Like, let's take this example. Let's say that I've got something that is 12 months or 1 year. That's the frequency, 12 months, right? So 12 times 50. What's 12 times 50? I don't know. I'm not going to do math. 12 times 50. All right, that's not right. Yeah, 12 times 50. 12 times 50 equals 600. All right, so 600 times 10, that's $6,000. Okay, $6,000. All right, so let's say that we earn that over 12 months in our membership model, right? Well, let's say that we have an annual plan, which would be the equivalent of 12 months. Okay, and it might be a little cheaper just to get the discount. You see what I'm saying? And that's also going to equal $6,000. If I can just get people to renew the annual plan, then that becomes $12,000. All I got to do is get them to sign up for the annual plan. It's still a recurring membership model, but it's going to increase. It's going to double my revenue year over year. So what I'm trying to tell you is, you can bash your head against the wall forever to build a massive audience. Fine, go do that. Or you can bash your head against the wall to convert this massive audience that you have to build if you're going to get a massive email list, to get that 1 to 2% sales off of your email list and get more customers. Or you can focus on frequency, and you can have a recurring revenue model built into your business that is going to give you a low energy way to make things happen. Okay. There's a lot of different ways to do this. We're not going to get deep into all the different strategies to make people, pay over and over and over again. I'm going to talk about a few of them, but if you've got 4 months LTV, a little bit of thought and energy can get that to 5 months. So if you have 100 people paying you $100 a month, and that's $10,000, and they stay an average of 6 months, that's $60,000, right? Well, if you want a $10,000 raise, you just get those same people to stay 7 months. That's all you got to do. You got to up that frequency 1 month. That's it, right? And there's 1,000 different ways to do it. It's already people who are already paying you. You just get them to pay 1 more month. If you increase that frequency, ta-da. How many jobs in America can you go just walk in the boss's office and say, give me a $10,000 raise? Oh, you just did it because you got 1 more month of frequency. You didn't have to go out and find another 100 customers, another 10, another 20, another whatever. You just had to increase the frequency. Okay, so that's what we're talking about tonight. Is everybody following me? Let me know if you're following me in the chat. I'm gonna pause here for just a second. Okay. Or if you have any questions right now. Did everybody get the formula? Do you need to see the formula again? I can take a picture of it. I'll take a picture of it, and just so you can see it. I'm going to actually fill some of this in as well. Okay. All right, let's do this. I'm going to fill this in real quick. We'll go back over one thing. Let me switch back over. This is some deep stuff. All right, I need to see it again. All right, Chris. All right, so let's put some of this in, okay? Let's keep all the variables the same. 10 times 50. We're going to up the frequency to 3. That's it. You get them to pay $50 3 months instead of 1. That's it. That's all we're saying here, okay? Let me go back to normal on this one. Okay. All right, so that's going to be $1,500. This is how you give yourself a raise when you control a membership. You just get people to stay longer. Adding members is important. We are always going to try to get more prospects and conversions. But the problem is there's only so much audience to go around. Like, don't build a business that requires you to have a large audience. If you write that down, do not build a business that requires you to build a huge audience and get a huge amount of leads. Build a business that lets you get a nice amount of prospects and a good steady stream of people, but then just increase your frequency. All right, let's go 6. That'd be $3,000 a month, or on average, that LTV of all that. Same amount of customers, same amount of time. Just increase the frequency over and over and over again. Let's say we can get them up to 10 months, right? Nice and easy. All this money you're making this money in a year or whatever. Typing skills are not on par right now. What is that? Is that $5,000? 10 months. 10 people, 5. Am I doing the math here right? No, I'm not. Let's see. 10 times 50 is 500 times 6. That's 3,000. 10 times 50 is 500 times 10. So that's 5,000. Okay. You can see this revenue in a year is growing, right? Now, when you get to your 100 customers, right? Let's say you have 100 customers that are paying $50 a month, right? Okay. So that's 5,000 times 10. Now we're seeing that $50,000 kind of range. We're making a living now. We're actually making money online. And we're not killing ourselves to build a huge audience. We're not killing ourselves and spending a fortune to get a bunch of emails. We're not spending every minute of every day trying to make sales. We're just getting our customers and we're getting them to stay longer. And we're doing that as recurring revenue. Okay. So you can see how this is easier than building a huge audience. We're going to talk at Flip Your Life Live about building your audience. We're going to talk about traffic. We're going to talk about conversions because that is the top of the funnel. You got to get that right. I don't want to undersell building an audience and building prospects, but you don't have to have, a Pat Flynn or Tim Ferriss sized audience or a Russell Brunson ClickFunnels sized audience to make really substantial money when you have a nice membership. You know, we always say that formula on the podcast: if you can get 100 people to pay $50 a month, that's $60,000 a year. Okay. That's it. So all you got to do is get people to stay for your membership during the year. Okay. All right. So that's part one of tonight's training. I want you to embrace that fact. Go get your first 100 customers and just get them to pay you more often. That's the key. Like if you're thinking about selling $1,000 product, I would much rather you put that into a membership and charge $100 a month. You're going to create more stability. You're going to create more opportunities to give yourself a raise every day by getting 1 or 2 more members a day and getting people to stay 1 or 2 more months. And it's just going to create a better situation for you and your family. Okay. All right. So that's the first thing. Frequency is in our experience, after doing this for almost 7 years and helping hundreds of people start their own memberships, what we have seen over and over and over again is that small audiences with high frequency of payments make great livings online. They make safe livings online. They make predictable livings online. And that's what I want to do next is compare the membership model to what we call the course model or the digital product model. When we started Flipped Lifestyle, we taught the course model. We taught digital products because that's what we were doing at the time. We had not evolved into memberships. But like I said before, our business was feast or famine. Okay. We were feasting. Don't get me wrong. There was big, huge months, but there were some months where there was almost no sales and it wasn't good. It just was totally unpredictable, totally stressful, and it wasn't good. We were constantly having to go down what I call the marketing gray road, right? Where we were thinking of all the tricks, putting the timers on, last chance you'll ever get this for 2 months, and you know, all those things that really didn't make sense because it was a digital product and we were going to sell it again, right? Like, you know, so we were doing all these sales tricks and marketing tricks, and everybody was telling us about all these neat things that you could do with all these new tools, and you know, but it really just felt like slimy doing it that way, when really it was just like, hey, here's everything we have. Let's just serve you for a long time. Let us just come in, start here, and we will serve you for as long as you need this. And we're here to help you. We're here to lead you and guide you. Okay. The membership model, it was so crazy the month after we did it, how much better we felt about our business, right? Because we did that. We launched our first membership. I think we launched this membership in July of that year. And then we launched the education stuff in August, I believe. That might be a little off. But what happened was in September, all that work we had done in the months before just ballooned up our bank account. And then in October, it just ballooned up our bank account. And it just kept going. And the amount of webinars we had to do was dropping. The amount of sales we were having to do was dropping. The amount of emails that we were having to really focus on sales stuff was dropping, which allowed us to use more emails to give value and support for our people who are buying our products. So it was really good, we found, not only for us to create a stable, predictable income online. Like if you're here to get rich, fine. We'll get rich. Let's go find a way to work hard and hustle and get rich. But what we're in for is create a stable, predictable income that I know is going to be there and is going to keep me self-employed, so I never have to go back to the 9-to-5. And the membership model will always do that better than the launch. Okay. So my challenge for you, and then we'll get to some questions. If you've got questions, go ahead and start putting them in the chat box. We're going to go through any questions you got, whatever you're selling. If you want to talk about ideas, how you can turn it into a subscription. If you have a subscription, you can talk about that. Go ahead and ask questions right now. I'm looking for questions in the chat, but I'm going to go over first while I'm doing that, while you're typing in your questions, what I want you to do for the next week. Okay. I want you to figure out what your version of the membership model looks like for your idea or your business. This may require you to create new stuff later. Okay. Like we had to go back when we changed the membership model for Flipped Lifestyle. We had to take our courses, stick them all in the Flip Your Life Blueprint area, and we had to add a bunch. I actually went back about a year later and I redid every single membership course, everything we have, and all in 1 month. I went and recorded 50 videos in 1 month. To all the trainings that you see right now, I went through and said, how can I make this evergreen? How can I get this where it needs to be? I went in and made it because our people needed it, and I needed to increase that lifetime value. Lifetime value wasn't high enough, wasn't good enough. We needed to fix it where we could get people in there for, however long they stay and get them to stay longer so that we could up our income and up our frequency over the year. Okay. We had to zoom out a little bit. So one, you can write these 4 things down. One is content curation. How are you going to curate your content in your membership area to where people can get to everything? Like, right, we're not going to hide content from people. If you have a membership area, your membership area is like a supermarket. We're not going to drip content out. We're not going to hide content and sell them more stuff later. Jocelyn and I are very passionate about the all or nothing approach with your membership. You need all your trainings in there, right? And people need to be able to go get it because they're going to come into the funnel at different places, and it needs to be like a supermarket. If I need milk, I go to the milk aisle. If I go to if I need cereal, I go to the cereal aisle. If I need steaks, I go back to the deli, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you need to have all your content in there. You need to curate it in an organized fashion. How would you organize and string together your stuff to keep people staying for a long time? It's not one big course. Like maybe it's 10 courses that are 10 minutes long that you've broken up you say you had a course for 100 minutes, break it up into 10 things, spread it out over 10 2-week intervals, add a little something to make sure they take action. And now you've got a 3-month course. So that immediately takes your frequency from one product they watch once to watch this segment, go take action, come back in 2 weeks and do it again. We've immediately fixed that frequency problem with that business model with one big course, right? All right. Number 2, how are you going to foster community? This is the one that scares people. Okay. How are you going to foster community? Do you have to build a giant forum with hundreds of thousands of posts like we have? No, you don't. It could just be a Facebook page. Our U.S. history teacher community is a Facebook page. It's not even a Facebook group. It's just a page. And what we do on there to foster community is we share memes every day of like teaching. We share like this is a teacher on summer vacation, and it's a picture of someone running from the school or something, right? Like, we have a meme, we have like a this day in history, but it's like a funny version, and we get thousands of views, hundreds of shares, and it's just, that's how we build community there. It's just a place for U.S. history teachers to joke around and laugh at our memes and share stuff with their people in their history department. They're always tagging people. Like, that's our whole community there, right? But we have a membership. We have a good membership there. And then number 3, how are you going to show up? That's the myth that we've got to dispel, this passive income, set it and forget it. I'll just make a course and sell it forever. Some of that is somewhat true, but you got to show up for your people, right? That's why we do 2 member calls a month. That's why we do these weekly trainings for Flip Your Life Live attendees. Flip Your Life Live is a completely different product, right? It is a completely different product from the rest of the community. But you can see a lot of retention strategy in Flip Your Life Live. For example, if you join Flip Your Life Live and you're here right now, you're coming in September, there's a very low likelihood of quitting our membership until then. So if we sell this in December and we have it in September, there's a great chance that if we go sell 100, 200 tickets, those members are going to retain longer because they're going to be around, especially because we're doing this weekly training and this new product that's really just an extension of our membership and our family, right? You can do the same thing. Like, you can have member calls. You can sell workshops. Hey, we're going to do a workshop every quarter. You sell a workshop, you're going to show up for one time at one workshop, but it keeps people paying the 3 months because they want to be at the workshop. Right? You could schedule out a quarterly workshop. Someone joins and you say, hey, don't forget, it's January. We're going to have a workshop in March. You better be here. You better be a member. And that creates more retention. Okay. So those 3 big components are evergreen content curation. Notice I didn't say just creating random content. The Flip Your Life Blueprint works in a system. You have to create a system and you have to curate it where people can follow it. It's not just a collection of all your courses that are not related. Like, if you're going to have a membership, you need to be able to go through the process. If you really did the membership, the Flip Your Life Blueprint is actually designed as like a 12 to 18 month program. We're doing the Speed Demon version to get us to Flip Your Life Live. But really, if you went through like, the Avatar Offer product in 1 month, and then the next thing in the next month, and the next thing in the next month, and the ads in the next, like, it would take you really about 12 months to do it right. Like, really slow down and take massive action on every single course and get it all done. So we have built-in retention that we think about 12 to 18 months is what we're looking for to get people to go through the products and get stuff done. Okay. All right. So this week, be thinking about how you can turn. I will help some of you do that. I see the questions coming in. Be thinking about how you're going to turn this eventually into a membership. And then I want you to go and take and watch this video training. Let me get in there and get it real quick. There's the blueprint training that aligns with this week's focus is called the membership mindset. And it's going to go much deeper into what the membership is supposed to look like. All right. So this is definitely going to help you think about that. It would probably be good to watch this training or listen to this training and then get your notebook out and start some ideas. Okay. All right. So let's go to questions about memberships. I'm going to scroll back up. If I don't get your question, I'm only scrolling up to that first one. Let's see. Sam Feeney says frequency equals one more month. Yep. If you get one more month, you gave yourself a raise this year. If you can get 100 people who are paying $100 a month to stay one extra month, you gave yourself a $10,000 raise. Okay. All right, let's see. How many courses do you need to have a membership? 0. You could have a membership right now with just member calls. Like if you're an expert in your field and you think you can really take questions and answers, I know people that do, $19 a month. They have 2 member calls a month. People show up and ask them questions. 0 courses. Now, it won't sustain itself for very long, right? I suggest that people usually have 3 20 to 30-minute trainings in their membership area and break them apart and design them in a way where you tell your members this is a 3-month process, okay? So like if I just had idea, avatar, and offer, if that was the only 3 courses that I had done in the Flip Your Life Blueprint, then I could put those in there and I could seed my curated membership area, right? That's usually what I say to start with. That's what I recommend. It's just a nice thing that people can go in, log into the member area. They see there's 3 courses and they're like, they can't do it in a week. You can't watch them all. You got to do one, take action, right? So usually 3 20 to 30-minute courses, but your courses don't have to be big PowerPoints. They can be this right here. Just you talking into the screen. You've got a bulleted outline that you wrote down and you go through the points. If you really know your subject, you should be able to talk about it, right? Just didn't fake it till you make it, right? If you're teaching something, you need to be able to teach it. I can teach usually with a notepad and a pen anything about that we teach online in 30 minutes if I write an outline down. So don't worry about too much content, but more than one, at least probably 3 before you start it out. Some of you right now are selling other stuff. And if you just would start offering monthly, office hours, people would pay you monthly for that. Okay. All right. Shay said I was going to ask the same thing. Shay said, I want to know how, I want to do how-to videos in YouTube, but I also want to do how-to videos inside my membership. How to set up MailChimp, how to set up WordPress, etc. How can I do both so my members will pay? Okay. Members do not pay for your content. They pay for the roadmap that tells them what order to do your content in. So you could literally do 100 how-to videos randomly on YouTube that people find in search. But then this truth comes into play. 90% of people who find your content via search never look at the other 90% of your content. They never see it. They just don't go to your YouTube channel and look through all your videos and I'm going to sit here and search through and find exactly what I need. It just doesn't happen. They just don't do it. Humans are lazy and they like to be spoon-fed step-by-step processes. Okay. It's like school teachers. School teachers they might say, oh, well, I can find anything you're selling for free. You can, but it's not in an organized, detailed list that tells you exactly what to do next. See, that's what curation is. Like I could go to Egypt and I could start an archaeological dig and dig up my own mummy. Or I could go to the Smithsonian and I could walk up to the tour guide and say, could you take me to the mummies? Oh, that'd be great. Thanks. And I'll follow them. I'll stop at Starbucks and grab my mocha latte, and then I'll go look at the mummies. And that's what a membership model actually does. You are the curator that is going to put things in order, right? Like what should they do before MailChimp, right? Like, what are you going to teach them before that? What's the step before, they're setting up MailChimp? Like, you need to teach them that technical process. So in your membership area, it's, hey guys, welcome to Shay's membership area. Here's step one. You're going to do this next. And don't worry, no more searching, no more looking. I've got step two waiting for you, but let's not talk about that right now. I've curated everything in a nice, easy path for you to follow. The Flip Your Life Blueprint, it is designed, like, I could literally probably release every one of these videos on YouTube and nobody would ever find them all, right? But if you look in the community and you join the community, so you can go out, let me flip over here. I'm gonna show you this. All right. So like you could go out, you could find a video on, making your avatar. You could probably find a video on how to do keyword research. That's just me using a keyword planner. You could find something on building a website. I mean, how many courses are there out there teaching WordPress website building, right? You could find something on content. You could probably find, something on setting up an email autoresponder. You could find free content for every single thing in here. Okay. But I'm telling you what you will not find. You will not find the most organized system on the planet for a beginner to start, build, and grow your online business. A battle-tested process that created multiple businesses for us and have helped hundreds of other people create their incomes online. You just won't find that. You won't find it where it's like, here's step one, set your goals. All right, you got your goals. Now we're going to come up with your idea. Okay, you got an idea. Guess what? We know what's coming next. Your wife or your husband's looking at you like you're crazy. Let's get them on board with your dreams before we move forward. That way they'll at least leave you alone and let you try. Okay. All right, we got that out of the way. You got your idea. Let's turn that into a customer that has the problem that your idea fixes. Let's turn that idea into a product now. Okay, we're going to research that to make sure it's making money online. We're going to do keyword research for our content. We're going to get some time and money set aside for our business. And now we're off. We're going to turn it into membership. We're going to build your platform. We're going to go sell things. Like, it's so curated in perfect order. It's foolproof. Like, if you just open this book and you just start at the top and you just work your way to the bottom, by the time you get to the bottom, you're going to be setting up your business and your finances. You know why how to manage your finances is last? Because we've helped you make all the money already if you did everything you were supposed to do. See, that's the problem. Sometimes people look at random scattered information and they never take action because they're so confused. Your job as the membership owner, as the curator of your own content, is to create a plan that people can follow. They're paying for the plan. They're not paying for your YouTube videos. They can find your YouTube videos. Every piece of content that could ever possibly be created is free on the internet, period. You can learn anything you want on the internet right now for free. But can you have a leader who guides you through the process? That's what people pay for. That's why you're here. You're here right now. You're coming to this meeting that we're having for attendees because I promise to guide you through the blueprint step by step on our way to Flip Your Life Live. You're not here to hear me speak. You can find that revenue formula probably on 100 different websites, right? But you're here because I'm going to guide you to the next step, what you need to think about. That's what you're here for. And that's what you have to do. If you're going to create a membership, you've got to guide people to the next step. For example, is Sippy here? Is Sippy in here? Let me look at the list here. Sippy, are you here? Sippy has a physical product business. Sippy sells like clothing. Okay. I don't think she's in here. She might be in here. Maybe you're watching or you're not in the chat room, Sippy. Where are you? But like, she has a clothing business. So what's a great membership model for a clothing business is like seasonal. That's why they change all the clothes, in Stitch Fix and all these other memberships, clothing boxes, because they're just like, hey, oh yeah, she's at a trade show. That's right. I knew that. So like, that's why these Stitch Fix, which is a box that sends you like custom clothing, but like they're like, hey, you don't know anything about fashion. You don't want to sit around and figure out what's going to be in style. We're going to send you the spring fashion so you don't got to go look it up. And you know what? We're going to roll through that when summer gets here. We're going to take care of you. We're going to give you a big list of things. It's all the summer. You don't got to do all that work. We're going to curate the styles. We're going to guide you to what you need to do next, or you can sit around, research it yourself, and you can go to the department store and try and find it, right? That's a membership model. Stitch Fix is a membership model. They sell clothes as a membership, but they sign up because people like it, and they keep coming back over and over and over again, okay? Okay. Laura says, maybe different seasonal teddy bears. Yes. You need a New Year's bear. You need a Valentine's bear. You need a St. Patrick's Day bear that has a leprechaun sewed onto its tail or something. You know what I mean? Like whatever. Like, April, you need an April Fool's bear. You need a Cinco de Mayo bear that has a sombrero. You need a what's May? What's June? You need a June. The summer bear. He's coming out in swimming trunks or something. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that's a membership model. Like you create these seasonal things like, hey guys, next month is the Christmas bear or whatever. You see what I'm saying? Let me turn on do not disturb because I keep getting a phone call here. All right. So yeah, seasonal bears. Perfect. Okay, let me scroll up here. Get more questions. There's Shay. Lene asks, could we make a video on YouTube, but then not finish the whole thing and say the rest in the membership? Yes, you could. I actually don't prefer that method for what you're talking about. For example, if I'm going to teach something that can get someone a result on YouTube, I need to finish my thought, right? And then they need to feel like they've gotten the complete message. But I then need to sell the next step. Like for example, I'm going to do a video on lead magnets. If I do a video on lead magnets, the next thing I know people are going to have to know is how to deliver the lead magnet, which is an email, Aweber, MailChimp, whatever kind of thing, right? So what I would then do is say, hey, now that you know how to do the lead magnet, I've got the next course waiting for you inside my membership area, right? And then you point them to buy that next thing. That strategy works better for like podcasts and stuff. Like if you like leave some of the interview out. We're actually probably going to do that some this summer. We're going to extend our interviews a little bit with you guys when we bring you on the podcast. We're going to, instead of just asking that first question, we're going to let you ask a second question. And then we're going to cut that out and put it in the member area. And we're going to start putting, the podcast is it should be by the end of the month. It'll come out inside the Flip Your Life community first. Like it's going to come out on like Monday inside the Flip Your Life community and then come out on iTunes on the next day. And then the public one will be shorter than the one that's inside the community. So that works. It can work for YouTube, but it just for some reason, different media play out differently. And I just don't think it feels as good there, but you should try it. If you want to try that, you could totally do that. But people feel kind of cheated and they're like, whatever. And they hit back and they go find the next video and that guy completed the thought and he wins. A podcast isn't like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's with you. It's in your car. You're not really messing with it. But like, how many times have you watched a YouTube video and 5 seconds in, you realize it wasn't what you were looking for? And you just hit the next one over in the sidebar, right? It's just too easy to bail out of a YouTube video. So I want to complete it and do a better job than anybody else and then tell them I've got their next step if they just click the link below. Okay. All right. You would never know what to do without the blueprint in the correct order. You wouldn't even know what to look for. That's amen, Lene. Like that's right. That's the statement of the week for curation, right? Like, and that's why people pay. They pay to be led. They don't pay to be turned loose, even in a DIY product, like, because they don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. Actually, the forums, I'll tell you the funny thing about the forums. One, we've got the best forums on the planet, anywhere for any online community I've ever seen. I mean, we're very active forums. Everybody's talking to each other. Everybody's helping and supporting each other. But our forums actually were in the beginning just a way where we could point people to the blueprint. Like that's really what the whole idea behind the forums was, is when someone came in and didn't know what to do next, they would have a place to go ask for it. And then it turned into this massive community of people hanging out and talking together and making friends and all that good stuff. So yeah, you've got to have the curation. The curation is probably the most important part of the membership, content wise. And then it's you showing up and being a good leader. Okay. Laura says, what about an art type of membership? Oh yeah, we talked about that. Yep. So Laura, basically seasonal, man. Just Jocelyn, in her elementary librarian membership for lesson plans, her primary strategy was holidays. She just picked holidays, and like, so she would have like, what was going on in the library, Christmas. So here's some Christmas activities. And, she would say, hey, I just put these in the membership area. You better, or she would say like in November, Christmas activities launch in December 10th, right? So like people had to pay the next month to get the next activity. I mean, it's just the way it does. So you could totally roll those out that way. All right. Let's see. Okay. Monty says, if you've got any more questions, go ahead and type them now. If not, we'll talk about them in the forums. But the rest of the internet doesn't have spectacular. I saw a question earlier. Let's see. Where was it? It was above the ones I just asked. Tanya says, Shane, how did you do memberships with B2B, i.e., selling to school districts? Okay. So that was very different because a lot of businesses, and especially government agencies like schools, right? They are not allowed to do recurring. Okay. So we had to develop a process to resell them every year, right? So we still created this dynamic. Here, remember what we're doing here. We're just trying to increase the frequency. It's really just we're shining the flashlight in a different place in the formula. We're not shining it at audience all the time. We're not shining it at prospects. We're not even really shining it at price or customers. We're shining it on frequency. So the problem was here's a school. They had to pay annually. So we had to sell annual plans to them by their own rules. They had to do purchase orders because they were not allowed to use credit cards or go into debt. So we're just building our limitations here. And once we figure out the limitations, we can figure out how to work within the parameters. And then they were not allowed to renew. It was not allowed to be recurring where it automatically billed. Okay. So there's the game. That's the game we're playing. Business to business, have to do annual plans, can't use credit cards, can't automatically renew. Okay. So in that case, we built automated emails that went to the school district supervisor and the librarian that initiated the purchase to remind them to go to their school district in July and ask for that money before somebody else spent it. Okay. So we had stuff like that. And then we had some systems in place where we could call people if they didn't renew by a certain date and we had to resell them because the low energy comes from the fact that that person already paid us. That school already paid us. That librarian already paid us. We just have to follow up. Like, what's easier? Going out and finding a new librarian or just picking up the phone and calling that librarian and say, hey, you going to renew this year? It's not your money. It's the school's money. Like, go spend it, right? Hey, business owner, you're going to renew this year? Oh, cool. I'll set you up right here on the phone. So it was just it's different mindset. That's why we call it the membership mindset. People get really confused. It's probably our fault for not being clear. We're not just trying to get you to sign up for a monthly membership. We're trying to make the same person pay us more often. Okay. The same business pay us more often. The same government agency pay us more often. So it might look like credit card and automatically goes every month until they cancel. That's cool. That's the best way because that's the easiest. But it may also be, hey, let's get this school to buy twice. You see what I'm saying? So we just got to have a process where we can call them, contact them, and send some emails and go like that. You can always figure out a way to get your customers to either buy the next thing or pay again for what they're using. And that is always going to be easier than finding a new customer. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we got here. I think we have more questions this season. Thank you, Shane. Can I use a product as an introduction to my membership? Okay. So, yes, that's an interesting question, Sam. Sam is talking about where to put the membership offer here. So there's two ways to sell a membership. Okay. You can have a front end membership or you can have a back end membership, or you can do both. And I'll show you an example of that. Okay. So if you have a product, like say you have a course that you really like to sell, it sells really good at $197 or whatever it sells for. Okay. You can then sell a membership off the back end of the initial sale to support the training, to support the course. Or like that might be what I was saying earlier. Hey, I've got this $500 course, but I've also got this. And then they sell it and they go to the thank you page. The thank you page says, hey, don't do this course alone. I do office hours every Monday at 12 o'clock, and you can pay $19 a month and have full access to those office hours. Okay. Or you give them a month for free and then they, get a free month and it renews. So you start building some people off the back end of that. Okay. Or you can sell the front end. You can sell a membership first and then sell a more expensive thing like off the back of it. Okay. So we used to sell workshops. We've not done any of those in a long time, but like we used to sell workshops like every third month where we would talk about a new topic and get in with people. Like we'd sell like 20 of them for $200. We were on a Zoom call. You got guaranteed. It was like a mastermind. You just got a guaranteed answer to whatever you were working on, and we would rotate the topics. So like that would be a front end membership selling into another product, which was a coaching product, a mastermind product. Okay. So that's what we're really getting into. It's not really it's not like upsells and downsells. This is like, where is the membership actually placed in your funnel? Well, technically, this is kind of like that, because we have a front end membership for sure. The membership, all roads lead to the membership, and then within the membership, roads can lead somewhere else. Okay, it's like all roads lead to the city, and there's a wall around the city, but inside the city, there's other roads, right? Like that's kind of what a front end membership looks like. So like Flip Your Life Live is kind of like that. Like we sell another product mainly to our members. That's usually most people who come are from our membership. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. I vastly prefer the front end membership, because I would rather get 100 people to pay me $50 a month as fast as possible than I would to get, 100 people, they get 10 people to buy something for $500. Just too hard to sell. And then I don't make any money. I got to sell it again, right? Like, why not just get the recurring revenue? And then if I want to, that would be profit maximizing. Okay. So LTV, like lifetime value of your member, is how many months on average they pay. A profit maximizer is another thing you sell them up into. Okay. I have a buddy who makes a lot of money, like 6 figures a month, and he has a front end digital product that he sells for $1,000. It's a DIY program, and then all of their recurring comes off the back of that. And but it's much lower ticket, that recurring stuff. And so you can do it different ways. It doesn't matter. But the key is you're thinking about, how can I create consistent income? I'll tell you another thing. Some of you may be sitting here thinking right now, man, I really want to sell $1,000 product. I see all these other people doing it. Fine, but offer a payment plan. Offering a 10-month payment plan on $1,000 product, you're going to have some people that don't pay the whole way through, right? But having a payment plan is a way to get predictable, stable income into the future, right? 10 payments for 10 months, same thing. If you really want to go out there and you want to do 2 webinars a week, and you really want to hustle, and you really want to try to sell $1,000 product, it's hard. It's really, really hard. You can do that, but just offer a payment plan so you can create some kind of predictable future revenue. And we're really just giving more people away into our world. That's why we have 3 tiers. Like, we have a premium tier where people get to come to the member calls and ask questions. We have the standard tier, who gets the course and the forums. And then we have an exclusive tier who gets to email us once a week. And then we have our Voxer program, where it's $2,000 a quarter, and you actually get to talk to me like every day. Like, I have a phone. You have a little app on your phone. You can just send me messages. We talk back and forth. So we have different tiers that allow people to come in different ways. You can always do that, but just give people options. All right. So good question, Sam. Shay says, what are your thoughts about selling a one-off course in addition to selling it inside the membership? Okay, we kind of just covered that. I've been on some membership sites where they offer both. I don't like to sell our courses or our blueprint outside of the membership, because I think it cannibalizes the monthly members. And like, I am building a house brick by brick. I am not, building a rocket to the moon as fast as I can get there. I'm building a foundation. Stack, 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 stack. Keep the bricks going. Raise the floor, which pushes the ceiling higher. Everybody else is just trying to be like, I'm on the roof, and then the walls collapse. And so I don't like to do that. I don't like to sell things out. If I was going to sell things outside of the membership, I would piecemeal it into 100 different parts. Like, I'd sell every course individually. I would never package it, probably, just because I don't want to sell a $2,000 course. You could do a lifetime membership easier than that. Just have a lifetime offer, and it would be just simple. Carolyn says, if beginning with minimal content, and I intend to have many courses and content by year's end, how would you recommend planning the price of the membership? You would charge exactly what you would charge if they were all done, right? The Flip Your Life Blueprint was created with a course and all this stuff did not exist when we started offering a monthly price. That's in there now. Like, none of this stuff, I'm looking at it right now, there's lots of courses, and like those, I'd say probably a fourth of this existed, but you charge what you're going to charge, and that's it, because they can't consume all the courses anyway. Like, no one could go into the Flip Your Life Blueprint and do every single course in a month. There's no possible way to actually take action on every course. So let's say I only had 3 done, and it was 3 months of content. I'm still going to charge you monthly what I'm going to charge forever, because I'm going to make that course before you get there, right? So and actually selling your membership before it's done is a great way to drive you to get it done because people gave you money for it. Okay. Tanya says, got it. And Tanya says, okay, it was not a question. All right. There was one more question I missed, but I cannot find it. It was way up here and I can't chat back far enough. Let's see. Money. Yeah, I can't find it. Load earlier messages. Let me see if this works. Thankful switch. Well, so thankful I'll switch times. Okay, good. Singing something ahead. Okay, looks like that's all the questions. Okay. All right. So that's the basic principle. And this week, here's what I want you to do. How can you build your membership mindset? Okay. If you're in a B2B business, how are you going to develop a process to resell the same customers, which is much easier than finding new customers? If you're in a physical product business, what are you going to build around that? Maybe you sell physical products and you want to sell some kind of digital product that kind of trains people to use your thing. Maybe that's your membership model. Or can you get on live with people and talk to them about the thing you sell? Can you create some kind of situation where you're taking them through things seasonally, right? If you're selling digital courses, it's really easy. What does your curation look like? What does your system look like? What does your community look like? Where are you going to build a community? How are you going to build that community? How are you going to connect with your people and connect your people with each other, right? That's all I think about with you guys all the time is how am I going to connect with you this week? And how are we going to connect you with our content? And how are we going to connect you with each other? That's what our whole business is built on is these connections. You got to think about this. You got to be strategic about it. And also, how are you going to show up? How are you going to be the leader of your community? How are you going to lead your recurring revenue business to make sure that people know you have their best interest at heart and you're going to show up for them? And when they get confused and when they get stuck, they're going to have somebody there that's at least trying to help them. Okay. And how are you going to build recurring revenue into your business? I don't want anyone to just say, I sell courses, right? Okay, that's fine. But you better go find 500,000 people to follow you and you better get 100,000 emails or you're not going to be able to sell courses forever. You're going to go be forced down to JV partnerships and begging other people to be on their webinars and trying to grow an email list infinitely forever and paying, a lot of money to do it when you could have just said, man, I just got to find 100 people to give me $50 and then I got to make them do it again. All right. All right, guys, that's all I got for tonight. Membership mindset. That's what we're thinking about this week. How are we going to create recurring revenues in our products and businesses that we are creating here? If you're not done with your products, get to work on those. Make sure your products are finished. Like get something for sale. We got to have something for sale when we're walking in to Flip Your Life Live, even if it's just a coaching package or something like that, because we're going to talk a lot about that top part of the funnel, the hard part of the funnel, the part that we really need to go deep on over a 2-day period. And that's building audience, creating traffic, and making conversions. But if we get that part right and the conversions are happening and you have a strong recurring foundation in your business, you're going to create a low energy, low impact, high sanity business that allows you to say, I'm not working today. I'm spending time with my families. I'll take care of that tomorrow. Okay. All right, guys. Next week, remember, we will not have a training next week. I was going to do it from Orlando, but when I'm looking at our schedule, I just don't know if there's a way to do it. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to have the internet to do it. We're staying at one of the Disney hotels. I don't remember which one it is, but I don't want to take a chance on scheduling something and then either we're stuck in a park or stuck on a bus or the internet's terrible because there's 8,000 people using the internet. So we will not have a training next week. We're going to be gone for 7 days. And then the week following that is where I'm going to schedule this. I'll put it in here as soon as I log off here to make sure we just fall right back into our path and we move on to the next step. So you've actually got 2 weeks, got a little catch-up week next week to get your products done, to get your avatar squared away, to think about your membership mindset. We got a bonus week here. Got a bonus week to figure this out. This week, get your membership. Next week, if you need it, get some product done. Hey, somebody asked earlier, how many courses do I need? 3 30-minute talking head videos. That's it. You can do that in 2 hours. Just outline it and talk like I'm talking now if you want to, or make you a PowerPoint and do it. You got an extra week next week to get caught up and do that. And then we'll jump right back into our trainings, preparing us for Flip Your Life Live in September. And hey, guys, we're going to be sending out a lot of promotions for Flip Your Life Live. Our original allotment of tickets, we are very close to being able to sell that out. We do have a little extra room this year in the space in Lexington than we did last year in Nashville. So we may be able to add some tables and add some seats. We're also going to be bringing in like vendors and some experts. Many of you were here a couple weeks ago when we saw our tax professionals, Jessica and Chris. Jessica, Chris, and Marilyn are all going to be at Flip Your Life Live. They're going to have a booth set up for tax questions. If you guys are looking for support in anything, we're going to go out and be looking for some different sponsors and things like that. Tell us what you need. You need email support. Maybe we can contact AWeber or somebody and they can come. They can, help everybody while we're there. But we really want to get more people at the event this year. We want to flood the room. We want to sell our original 100 tickets, which we're almost sold out right now. VIPs are all gone. They're all sold out. And we've probably got about 25 to 30 more regular allotment general admission tickets. And then we're going to go talk to the hotel about expanding and seeing if we can grow this thing even bigger. Because the bigger it gets, the more people in the room, the more brain power in the room, the more connections we make, the more networking, the more masterminds form. Like, it's just like, this is what we need to do for the Flip Your Life community to make sure that everybody's got a great path to succeed. So if you know anybody that wants to come to Flip Your Life Live, send them over to fliplifestyle.com/live. If your spouse is not coming, you need to tell them to come with you. You want to get them on board with your dreams, bring them to Lexington. We're going to be having a lot of fun too, but it would be good to show them your world. Anything else, anyone else that you want to bring, anybody else about this, any communities you can share it in. This is really the best. We feel it's the best live event that any online business owner could ever go to take massive action and get real work done and get closer to their dreams. So don't be afraid to tell anybody. Don't be shy. Each one reach one, and we will fill that room up and we'll have a great time. I see ConvertKit. I might call them. I'll check that out. We'll see if we can get some of them. I'm going to start doing sponsorships in June this year. So I'll have to call a bunch of people. I've got like 3 lined up that I know are going to be a really big hit. So it's going to be really, really good. They're not going to be on stage. They're not going to be pitching anything. It's going to be the kind of, they're going to have tables set up, and we're actually going to require them to help people in our training sessions, in our mastermind sessions. Like, if you're working on some kind of email for some kind of traffic thing that we're doing, they're going to be there available to help. So we're going to work on some stuff like that and get as many as we can. Okay. Shay says, is Flip Your Life Live 3 full days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Or is it over halfway through Thursday during the day? Okay. So Thursday, it actually starts at night. Okay. So we have the first day is check in, get all the stuff. We like to break that away from the actual event. I know a lot of people do that and you just walk right in the conference room, but we like that to be like the first half of the day is a nice travel day for everybody. You can get checked into the hotel, get laid back, connect with people, meet people. Last year, man, the lobby was awesome. It was just packed. Everybody was hanging out. And it was just really like freewheeling, everybody logging in, getting their, badges and all that good stuff. And then Thursday night, we have the VIP reception, the big reception, which is I cannot wait until you see it. It's in a beautiful place in one of the high rises in Lexington. And like you can see downtown all lit up at night, and it's just awesome. Okay. So like we've got this amazing reception set up, and it's just a chance for us to all hang out, get together, meet each other, break the ice even more, and get in there and relax and have a good time. So the first night's kind of a party, basically. And then Friday and Saturday are full long days. Like Friday's really long. Like you can ask anybody that came last year. It's like we get up in the morning, the doors are going to open like at 8:15 for VIPs. And then 8:30, I think the doors will open for everybody else. We'll start at like 9. We go all the way to 5. We break for dinner. We come back in the room at like 7 o'clock. VIP, we're going to be having like a VIP session, and then we'll come in the room later. And then we work until like 11 or midnight. I think last year we just shut down the place. And like there's a huge work session after dinner. That's what it's for. So, get your marathon on. You're there to work. You're there to get action done. We're going to learn all day and take huge action during the work sessions and at night. And then we come back in Saturday and we go 9 to 5 again. I think it was like 9 to 4:30 because the last 30 minutes, Jocelyn and I did some stuff so we could get some pictures with everybody. And we kind of put that there. But I think we're going to move that this year to a different place. So, but it'll pretty much be 9 to 5. So that's the flow of the event. Thursday can be a travel day. Wednesday, come in early if you want to see Lexington. A lot of great stuff to do in Lexington. It's an amazing city. It is one of the best kept secrets in America. Like you're going to get in there and you're going to fall in love with it. Some of you are going to move there. Okay. And then Thursday is kind of like half a day, relax, do some stuff, get in town, and then we're off to the races at that. Okay. All right. That good. Plan to fly home Sunday. Yep, Sunday. Yeah, that we moved it back a day this year because we wanted people to be able to fly home on Sunday, and we want to get home. Okay. Yep. Steve said we can sleep after the event is over. That's right. You can. All right. So right now I'm going to sign off because I have actually got 2 more hours of work. I'm grinding tonight, y'all, because I am batching all of my emails for the next 7 days, so I don't have to do it while I'm at Disney. So I'm going to go batch some stuff. I got some YouTube videos that are uploading right now, and I got to get them batched. And I'm grinding tonight. I got to get some stuff done, but I'm putting my work in now so I can live my life later, because that is the beauty of online business. Work one day, take 7 days off, go play with Mickey Mouse. All right, see y'all. Have a great night.